Hi everybody and welcome back to Enjoy English with Mrs. A. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some of the resource websites I've been using as an ESL teacher and some of the tweaks I'm making to make sure I deliver a complete lesson plan for my students. In case you were wondering, no one's paying me for promo. So let's get down to business. First up, OneStop English. Open your favorite browser and type OneStop English free monthly lessons. You'll see this is not an overall free website, but it does offer quite a lot of lesson plans, especially if you register onto their website. OneStop English is great if you're working with teens, adults, and it also has quite a nice selection of business English lesson plans as well. They're catering to elementary, intermediate, and advanced levels. And what's great about it is the variety of topics they provide. The news lessons are my favorite, mostly because what they do is take a real article from The Guardian and turn it into a lesson plan, adapting the exercises and text to suit the provided levels. That's fun for many reasons, but mostly because your students will get to learn about real things that are happening in real time, and that's priceless. So you're not only teaching a lesson, but you're keeping them up to speed with what's going on in the world. And let's see a news lesson. Here we go. You'll notice that instead of starting out with the article, they start out with a warmer. And most of the times, me personally, I just dive into the article first and then do the rest. I don't just print the lesson plan and go into the classroom. Instead, I add additional material to make sure we go over all the skills. While this lesson plan has a nice reading, fill in the gaps exercises to make sure we remember all that great vocab, it lacks listening practice, it lacks grammar, and it lacks speaking practice for my taste. So if I'm teaching a private class and the topic is digital detox, I may start with a 10-minute video on digital detox, the effects, and so on. YouTube's your friend here, and I cannot stress this enough. It is paramount for the material you provide to match the level of your students. After introducing the topic with a video, we'll start off with a round of questions, topic related naturally, and then I may provide a series of pictures for my students to practice speaking in pairs. For levels B1 and B2, I mostly use my book, but also provide material directly related to the topic. Then I would finally introduce the article. And one of the things I really insist on is the yellow highlighter for new vocab, and the orange one for vocabulary and expressions they might find interesting and might want to use in their speaking or writing tasks. Once we're done reading and highlighting and explaining everything, I probably continue with more speaking practice, making sure they also integrate some of that new vocabulary in their tasks. A common mistake among newbie teachers is thinking that they have to follow the order of a lesson plan or they must finish it all in one go. Well, what you really need to do is make sure you focus on the skills your students need to improve, and also take advantage of that classroom time to do things they cannot do on their own. And here's another tip: never drag a lesson plan such as this one for more than 2 sessions. You'll get bored, they'll get bored. Alrighty, moving on to the second website where you can find lesson plans, breakingnewsenglish.com. This is how it looks, and this one is 100% free and accessible. You don't need to register, but you do need to know how to navigate it. It's pretty obvious by now I'm a huge fan of news lessons, and this website's no exception. However, you should know that the levels this website caters to are B1 and B2, and they're listed right under the title of your lesson. You can see them here: easier, that's for B1, and harder, that's for B2. This part may be a little hard to navigate, but I'm just going to tell you, you can click on the 27-page lesson over here, or choose the 2-page lesson over here. This is the article. If you print it, that's a lot of paper, guys. If you print it, just make sure you select the pages you want to work on. And what is great about Breaking News English is the fact that you can listen to the article. There we have it. We go back and we click here.
New eye drops improve vision without glasses. This is breakingnewsenglish.com.
So the greatest thing here is the fact that you can hear somebody reading the article in either British English or American English, and you can also choose the speed. So if you're level B1 and you're still experiencing some trouble, you might want to go with the slower version. Usually when I have the option, I start off by playing the article to my students so they can listen to it and also read it at the same time and use their highlighter for the new vocabulary. So this is the article over here, and bam, warm-ups, the next page. So we have a lot of warm-up exercises. I don't do them all. I just start with number 4, I care, because this is about eyes, right? And I start asking questions. This is, of course, after we've explained all the new vocab and so on and so forth. So I would start with number 4 and continue with number 6, where they have to rank certain concepts and talk to the partner. What Breaking News English does is recycle everything. So they recycle every little thing, every type of word, every sentence used in the articles. So by the time you're done with it, you practically know it by heart. We have a true and false exercise. We have a synonym match, and pay attention because these are not perfect synonyms most of the time. We have a phrase match. And again, this all comes from the article that we've just read. You're not going to have new vocabulary, new things. It all stems from the same article. We have a gap fill with the words on the side, a multiple choice listening exercise over here. What is cool about this is that you see a gap, but usually you have 3 or 4 words in this gap. So if you do this listening exercise in class, make sure you play it twice. They're not going to be able to keep up if you only play the listening once. What I usually do here, if the level is higher, as in a B2, maybe I would start off with the listening exercise before reading the article, just to test them and stretch them a little bit, and I would continue with the rest. Comprehension questions, again, extracted from the text. A multiple choice quiz. Role play. Everything that can be squeezed out of this article, it is squeezed and it is there for your entertainment. Here we go. We have a set of 10 questions in case you're working in groups of 2, or you can divide your students in groups of 2. It's a student A, student B situation. Another page where they can ask their own questions about the topic. Language close. This is probably my favorite exercise. And this is the type of exercise you find in most of the ESL examinations, so they can really take advantage of this. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm not even halfway through. So we have a spelling exercise next. Put the text back together. There's just so much. And look at this one. Insert the vowels. This is great. Attention. If your students are making a lot of spelling mistakes, this is a great exercise. Like, this is a great exercise. I kid you not. It's really good. Punctuate the text and add capitals. Oh my God. So I told you this from the get-go. Everything that you could do, it's there. And you can do it, and breakingnewsenglish.com gives you the option. To squeeze everything out of a lesson plan. Oh my God. And then you end it all, I hope, with a writing about eyesight. What can you write about eyesight? Maybe you'd have to tweak the topic to make it more interesting. The second writing, however, is quite good. There should be a limit on how long we look at screens. Discuss. And this one is called academic writing, but we're not sure if it's supposed to be an essay, an article. But anyway, this is great because it gives the teacher freedom to choose. And of course, in case this wasn't enough, you have homework. And the answer is over here. Breaking News English is pretty cool. It's very full, very complete, but it's also a little bit mechanical, as in all the exercises and all the lesson plans are the same, which is good. You don't need to print out the whole document. You can just print out the pages you're interested in. So in my case, I print out the exercise I told you I liked, the article, the listening, and a few warmers, and that is it. And then to make sure I complete the lesson plan, I would add grammar, another listening exercise, and a lot of speaking practice. The topics are good, they're real, things that are happening, fit for teens and adults. You'll need to look and pick your faves, but I really like it, and I've been using it for many years. In terms of quality, I find OneStop English a little bit better, mostly because I also teach higher levels, so I cannot find advanced or proficiency on breaking news English. But I can definitely find lessons that will cater to these levels on OneStop English. Another point for breaking news English is the fact that it's all free. You don't need to register, you don't need to pay, and I'm all for it. Thank you. And let's move on to lesson plan website number 3, which is Teachers Pay Teachers, otherwise known as TPT. I've recently become a fan of TPT because it provides lesson plans created by actual teachers, and they are cheap. So you can find cheap lesson plans that you can buy, but you can also find free lesson plans, because every seller, also known as teacher creating and selling their lesson plans on TPT, every seller needs to offer a free resource. This is my shop on TPT. You can come visit and download some of my lessons. I made a video free. The rest you have to pay for, but they're really cheap. And I want to keep creating these lesson plans because I also use them in the classroom. And there's nothing better, I think, than a personalized lesson plan, a lesson plan that you created with your students in mind. If you're looking for the free resources TPT has to offer, you have all the right filters to look. So you can write ESL prepositions or English prepositions, or write something down in the box and select if you want a free resource, and you have a lot of things to pick from. It's really safe to download, and I think one of my favorite things as far as TPT goes is the fact that I get to support other teachers and I get to value their work. I really like that. These are people who are looking to make a difference in the world and a contribution to education. And they're working hard. They're creating their own lesson plans for other teachers to use. So respect. I really love it. I use TPT as well. And I can even recommend some very good teachers on there teaching Spanish, Portuguese, and of course, English. I'm hoping you enjoyed the short intro into free and cheap lesson plans for ESL teachers today. I'm going to make sure to drop my books or pin them down in a comment below. And thank you guys so much. Bye!